What's happening? Welcome to another Cannabis Critique. Today we are talking another strain off the Tales and Travels line from Revolution, Georgia Pie. This one is a cross of Gelatti and Kush Mints and tested in at 26% THC. This is pure contemplation, but I think this is one of the cookies strains that is not under the cookies name any longer. But that's just contemplation from me. Before we get into the breakdown of this Georgia Pie, let's give a shout out to our Patreon supporters. Massive shout out to the 2A Van Man, Baker Man, Scott the Bartender, and Tim, our dank dudes. And a shout out to Markeisha, our high achiever on the Patreon page. Now let's break down this Georgia Pie. The look on this stuff was pretty great. I actually bought this stuff on my way to the paintball field and then busted into it at the field. So I only had 2 nugs left when I shot the footage for you guys. But these were great big nugs, very, very frosting. Almost had like a webbing on them. And a great density with good softness as well. So these were fresh, on the fresher side, or at least appeared to be. 9.6 out of 10 in the looks department. Just no exotic colors here, but other than that, this stuff had very high bag appeal. Smell here was pretty awesome, very fruity and at the same time kind of florally as well, which makes sense with this cross of Gelatti and Kush Mints. You get like that OG Kush type of smell along with some fruitiness as well. 8.7 out of 10 on the nose. Breakdown here was great. Like I said earlier, these were great big nugs, great density, and great softness. So you could break these down by hand with ease. No stickiness here, but I wouldn't say this stuff was overly dry. It broke up nicely. 9 out of 10 for the breakdown category. The taste here is where this stuff really knocked it out of the park for me and everyone that I shared this with. This stuff was very, very sweet and delicious on the tongue. Very slight mint flavor to this one, and you kind of get like some peachy vibes. It's just very much like very smooth and just reminiscent of good weed. You do get kind of that OG Kush flavor in there as well, but I describe this one more as fruity and very, very smooth. This one an absolute pleasure to smoke. As soon as you hit it, you're gonna be like, oh, this stuff tastes great. Literally, I had like 3 or 4 people do that when I shared this one with them. So the Georgia Pie, great taste here. The high on this one, nice mood boost from this one. They say this is a good for social situations, which I agree with, but they say this one is also contemplative, but I didn't really experience that too much with this one, which was good for me. They also describe this one as dialed in. It'll dial in your mood, which I agree with as well. This one is definitely on the indica side of things, I think. They have it labeled as a hybrid, but for me, it had that like warm indica buzz with a nice mood boost as well. 9.1 out of 10 on the high. I quite enjoyed it. So overall, this is just more great stuff from Revolution. I rarely see them down here by me, but every time I grab their stuff, it's great. And this Tales and Travels line, it keeps the quality of their main line. I notice absolutely no difference from Tales and Travels versus the ones just under the Revolution name as their flagship line. So take that for what you will. You can usually get the Tales and Travels for much cheaper. Overall, this Georgia Pie, 9.1 out of 10. Great stuff. If you see it, I would recommend picking it up. And if you want to pick up one of our Cannabis Critique hats and support the channel, you should pull the trigger pretty soon on those. $32 if you're looking to get one shipped to you. Hit me up on my email or my Instagram page. All that stuff available for you in the About Me page on this page. I'll display it for you as well. And don't forget, if you enjoyed this Cannabis Critique, to like, comment, and subscribe for more.